Hello, we are here at Data Cloud Global Congress in Cannes. I am here with Svein, CEO of Green Mountain. Svein, once again, thank you so much for giving me your time today.
Thank you very much for asking.
We spoke, when I met you last year, you were, I think, still in Canada. You've moved to Norway now.
Yes, I have.
How has the move been?
It's been fantastic. Unfortunately, I had to spend a lot of time on airplanes earlier, flying back and forth to Europe and Canada and North America. Now I get a little bit more time to spend time both with the people at home, but also with all the employees of Green Mountain, going around to the different sites that we have both in Norway, and Germany and the UK.
Which is colder, Canada or Norway?
Actually, Canada is colder during winter, but much warmer during summer.
Okay. Interesting. I wanted to talk about, I've been tracking you guys over the year and you've been winning a lot of awards, including digital infrastructure recently. What do you think has contributed to the success of Green Mountain?
Many different things. Basically, it's the people. It's a fantastic atmosphere and fantastic culture in the company. We've hired more than double the company this year. And we still continue to make sure that we get extremely high client satisfaction scores. We actually increased in a year where we more than doubled the company in regards to our feedback from the clients. So it's the people at the company and what they do every single day in regards to making sure that we continue to deliver 100% uptime, knock on wood. Yeah, so basically I would just say that it's people and how hard they work to make sure that we deliver according to our clients' expectations.
You really get that feeling, right from meeting a CEO all the way to like your head of marketing. Whenever you meet someone from Green Mountain, I don't know, they just seem happy. And that's like a testament of how a company treats their employees. And whoever you meet, they just seem happy, which is really nice.
You know, I think we have a lot of fun at work. There's a lot of things that is it's going on. It's of course always more fun to work with growth than the opposite. And I think Green Mountain has experienced a lot of growth over the years and a lot of really cool projects for the people to work on. So, and we try to do a lot of things outside of work as well. So, a very active social committee in Green Mountain. So we try to kind of become a family.
I mean, you mentioned you doubled in size of employees, but you've still maintained the same customer satisfaction.
Actually increased the customer.
Increased it. Yeah, I saw a survey you guys did. It was I think you're now on 4.8 or something like this, nearly.
We're actually at 5.75 out of 6.
Oh, okay. So do you respond to your customer? What do you think is the reason that you maintain that high satisfaction?
It's about the client focus, right? So whenever our client has some challenges, the people are really, really responsive. It's never a question about who pays or whatever. It's like fix the problem and then we can always discuss the other things afterwards. But it's like get the things done. And I think our clients appreciate that. That's
really nice. At last year's event, we spoke about the MAS project, and I think you were just working on it, or you were just still building it, and it was really interesting because you were using the Rhine River as well, quite similar to the Norway sites where you use natural environment to cool the site. How's that going?
It's going really well. We're still building, finished the foundation, and the building is going to be rising throughout the year. Large project, many things, 54 megawatt site. We're building it in 18 megawatt increments. Good progress on the build. Always new experiences building in a new country. Things that get a little bit longer time in Germany than it does in Norway. But we're still on plan and we're still moving ahead at a good pace.
And one of the unique things about this project is the fact you don't have diesel generators.
That's correct.
And you're using gas turbine generators.
Yes, we are.
Have you faced some issues? Because I know in our industry we're quite slow to adopt new technologies, to say the least. Have you found there's some issues that you're facing with clients, or people are quite willing to accept?
I think there's always questions when you introduce new technology or use something else that is not a diesel generators or a new technology. But I feel that the clients have been very welcoming the solution. It reduces the carbon footprint by 95%, right? So if you're gonna have a fire or a lighthouse type of project like we're building in Germany, then you also need to challenge the established truth. And this is a well-functioning gas power plant, more or less, that we are using as our backup.
Was it because it was easily installed to use this kind of technology? Because then you also have the hydrogen HVO generators that are coming in?
The HVO is fuel, right? So it's a technology already being there. For us to partner with KMW, which is a local power company, And they already had the technology in place. We just utilized it into a different type of setting than what we traditionally were doing. So for us, it was a good opportunity to use existing technology. Didn't have to build something new. So the ability to kind of reuse that, but for a different format.
Okay, and then I wanted to touch a little bit on your London site, because unique for Green Mountain, I think, is that it's an existing site. So could you talk a little bit about how your plans to bring it up to the Green Mountain standard, how you're still going to be industry leaders?
So, of course, whenever we are taking over a site or building a site, is always with setting the green standard, which is a vision of the company. Of course, the facility is already there, or parts of the facility is filled. So when we're building now, we're making sure that we build it according to our standard. So we're building it to be a sub 1.2 PUE data center in London, utilizing a lot of the same technology, a lot of the same build structure. It's a little bit different because the building has some kind of constraints. We cannot do a full Green Mountain thing, but we're adapting it to make sure that it actually fits our requirements. Of course, we're going to change the existing facility over time. But of course, changing a facility, we first need to build something so that we can move the clients that we have into a new structure and then do something, right? So it will happen over time.
Are we going to see any lobster farms in London?
Probably not.
Londoners do like a good lobster roll.
But it's we're definitely going to look to see if we can find good takers of the waste heat.
Okay. And an interesting client that you mentioned on your site that's moved in with Green Mountain is TikTok or ByteDance in Norway. Was sustainability a major reason that they moved in with you guys? Was Norway the reason?
Norway has very good frame conditions to be able to provide data center. It's still, I believe, the only country who has their national data center strategy. So the frame conditions for data center and data center growth is welcome in Norway. I think that was important. And sustainability was definitely one of the aspects as to why they wanted to move to Norway. So the ability to both build a sustainable data center, but of course use the Norwegian grid, and of course the energy efficiency that you're able to get in Norway because it's cold and wet. So I think all of those were kind of factors. And the second thing is that we still have a power surplus in Norway. So the ability to scale is also one of the things that drew TikTok to Norway.
Is there any technologies that are out in the market right now? Obviously, your cooling technology is different. It's not needed in Norway. But is there any other technologies that you're seeing that are interesting or exciting to you?
I think there's many different technology. Everything that's happening now with liquid cooling, right? It's and the adoption of liquid cooling, of course, interesting, and see how different clients choose different type of technologies, right? When we are building our facilities now, we need to look at it in a 30, 40-year perspective. So how do you build a facility that is future-proof for what is not going to happen tomorrow, but way down in the future? When we are building facilities now, we need to make sure that we use we have the load weights, bearing weights, the ability to handle, for instance, change from air to liquid cooling. And then you see the mix of different technologies, right? So how do you refurbish an old air-cooled data center into a liquid-cooled data center? Those are all things that you need to figure out. We have done some of the things now. And I've adopted both kind of rear door heat exchangers, but also pure liquid cooling to the rack type of solutions.
And of course, I can't talk about anyone, I think, at this event without talking about AI. Do you see this as something that's coming into the data center world? How is it impacting your world?
It's impacting Norway massively. Since AI needs more power, increasing the density of the racks, etc., and Norway having a surplus of power, we get a lot of requests from the market in regards to large-scale type of data centers. And one of the things that TikTok did for Norway and did for Green Mountain was that it proved that we have the capability and the ability to deliver large-scale campus in Norway. So we have worked last year and a half to make sure that we secure as much power as we can in favorable locations to make sure that we're ready to take AI workloads when it comes.
Okay. So final question, what excites you the most about the future of our industry?
It's a super interesting industry to be in, mainly because of the growth, right? So it's always, like I said earlier, it's always really cool to work with constant growth. And what we thought were big cases 5 years ago, they're now small cases, right? So the ability to take on larger type of workload, the ability to make sure that we can continue to do what has made us great, as we're continuing to scale that, and right, I like to build a company. I like to make sure that people are happy.